Hey YouTube, it's Christina Joy in her soul, and I'm recording a second video for the night. I basically y'all don't really know much about me, so I kind of just wanted to do like a quick little chit chat or a life introduction, kind of let y'all know what's going on with me, what I got going on in my life or in my head right now. So yeah. Well, so I teach outside of doing these videos. Of course, I have a job that I actually get paid for because I don't get paid for YouTube. And I teach 8th grade social studies. I went from Illinois to North Carolina, and I started out teaching. My first year, I taught 4th and 5th grade at a private school. My second, third, and fourth year, I taught 6th grade social studies at a public school. And then now these last 2 years, I have taught. Last year, I taught 7th grade social studies at a public school, and then this year I'm teaching 8th grade social studies at that same public school. And I feel like I want to change career paths, and there's a few reasons. So the district that I left from in Illinois, like, they were like so good to me. I have no complaints. Like, it was never an issue with taking off work. It was never an issue with just needing time off or needing a break or getting lunch breaks or anything. Like, they treated me so well to the point that I felt like when I leave and go to the next job, I don't think it could get no better than this. Like, I don't think I'm gonna find a job that's this considerate and that look out for their teachers like this school does. So lo and behold, I moved to North Carolina. I'm teaching at, I guess I don't really need to say the school district, but my work experience is not as good. Like, what I'll say is my only complaint from my old district was that it was me. It was only 2 black teachers there, me, 6th grade, and 1 8th grade black teacher. Other than that, it was all whites. Now the student population, it was like mixed. It was like 30 something black, 30 something percent white, 30 something percent Hispanic or Latino. So I wanted to move somewhere warmer, and I wanted to work with people who I could identify with more. So that's how I ended up moving back to North Carolina. So my experience teaching here but even while I was teaching in Illinois, I still felt like I want to do something else. Like, teaching is not for me. Maybe I want a job that when I get off work, I'm actually off work. I don't want to have to worry about grading, planning. I don't want to have to worry about any of that stuff. I want to get off and actually be off. So I thought about going into the medical field there, but I never followed through with it. Fast forward, I get out here and I get my student loans removed. So they cleared up my student loans, and I'm like, that's perfect. Like, now I feel like this is the time for me to, if I want to do something else, because I don't feel stuck. Like, when I had all those student loans, it was like, oh, well, do I want to change and go into the medical field and just start, with something low? Not low, but like start with the intro job, like a CNA or a phlebotomist or something, and then let them pay for me to go to school for whatever other thing for whatever I was going to do in the medical field. Let the hospital pay for it, because a lot of times they'll pay for your schooling if you're going to do something in the medical field. So but I didn't want to take the pay cut, because I'm like, I got all these student loans. I need to just teach and at least get whatever little forgiveness I can get from that. But since they didn't forgave my loans and I don't owe, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, Um, I'm like, it's a clean slate. And then also, I moved to another state, and I don't like how they treat their teachers. So that's even more reason for me to just be done with teaching. So the school district that I'm at now, and I think it's the whole state, they don't get lunch breaks. So basically, they say that you're supposed to eat during your plan period, that you don't need a lunch break. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming from a state in a district. You had to take your lunch. Like, when your kids go to lunch, you go to lunch. Now, of course, if you chose to sit in there with your kids, you could, but it wasn't required, and nobody ever did. Everybody dropped their kids off, didn't even go into the cafeteria, went to the door, dropped the kids off, and went and had our lunch and came back. But here, you have to go in there with your kids, and supervise them during lunch. After lunch, my schedule is I teach all day, and then I take my kids to lunch, and then I have planning for the rest of the day. My planning is never for me to plan. It's always meetings, MTTS meetings, IEP meetings, staff meetings, team meetings, content area meetings. I may get one day out the week where I don't have a meeting, which usually is a Friday, but by that time, working all week and haven't had any break, I'm usually burnt out by Friday and don't really have time to, enjoy that one day that I get without having to have a break. So, and we're reminded often that, you plan is for you to plan. You shouldn't be leaving during plan, and if you do leave to go and get something to eat, you shouldn't be sitting down anywhere. You should be coming right back because you're supposed to be in the building, although you didn't get a lunch. So you're just supposed to work all day, no break. I'm feeling like, how is that even legal? But then I look it up, and apparently in the state of North Carolina, you don't have to give anybody a break if they're over 16. So I'm like, okay, that is crazy. If I had my own business, there's no way that I would expect somebody to work for me all day and not have a break. I want you to be the best that you can at work. I want you to work as efficiently as you can. How can you do that if you're supposed to go all day with no break to eat, no break to unwind, no break to just recollect yourself? So I'm like, okay, it's not gonna work for me. I can't teach for another 20 years and never get a lunch break. And I'm not even gonna get on how the kids are these days. So I was like, yeah, teaching is just not for me. I need to figure out what else I'm gonna do. And the fact that I got my loans cleared up, that just kind of gave me more ammo to the fact that I got my loans cleared up, and that I work in a state that don't give you breaks, and that I work in a district that it's the unprofessionalism for me, like, admin going around talking about their workers, getting mad because you take off, cursing at you. Like, it's the unprofessionalism for me. Like, those were like, I already really felt like, I don't really want to teach. Now, the district I'm in is like, yeah, I need to find something else to do. And what was I gonna say? Oh, but I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because I'm really ready to buy a house. I want to buy a house, but when you're trying to get a house, a lot of times they want you to have that same. They don't want you to switch career paths. They want to see a consistent income for at least a year or two. So that's my dilemma. Like, I'm at a point where like I could really, and I can't really go too much into the details of what's going on in my job. And I don't want to put anything out there before anyone wants it put out there. Even though I don't think anybody watches my channel, you never know. So some things I just can't say, but I can definitely see it getting worse before it gets better. And like, I would like to be able to leave now, but it's like I can't switch career fields now, because then I would have to wait a whole year or two before I can get a house. But if things go the way that it's looking like it's going to go, I might just have to switch career paths and wait another year or two before I actually purchase my house. Um, but yeah, so that's what's going on with me and work and my wants. And like I said, I usually don't talk about what I want or what I'm going to do. I usually do stuff and then go back and I might be, oh yeah, I'll just let people see it, or I'll talk about it after I did it. But I just really wanted to get this off my chest. Like, I don't know if y'all know of any, if you guys know of any, like, so my associates is in science, my bachelor's is in history, and my master's is in secondary education. If y'all know of any suggestions as far as job opportunities or career fields, please, 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 please drop them in the comments, because I would love to know. And the job does not have to be in under any of those degrees. Like, I'm even like considering taking like a 3-month CNA course, doing that just so I can get my foot in the door and have them pay for me to actually go to become a nurse or an occupational therapist or whatever it is that I want to do. But I'm not set on going to the medical field either, because I feel like they're understaffed and that I will be underworked, just like I'm teaching and we're understaffed and I'm overworked. And it's like every year they want to add more and more on what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like I would feel the same way going into the healthcare field. That's why I want to start with something like maybe a CNA or a phlebotomist or something, just so that I could get a feel for working there, and I would know before I spent all those years in school or had all that money wasted, to realize like, oh, I don't want to work in the hospitals. Like, I don't want to go through that again like I did with working at the school. So let me know if y'all know of any, job options. I've thought about, oh, this is shedding all over my shirt. I've thought about doing insurance. I've thought about starting a business. But I'm also like, I think I would be okay if I just had like a desk job. I'm not kidding, y'all. A desk job that paid a decent amount of money, like something in HR or like administrative work. I just need to, I have to figure something out, because I will not be teaching next year. I'm speaking that because I'm certain now that that's not what I want to do. So, yep, that's what I got going on. I will talk to y'all later. I'm hoping that this video is even gonna be loud enough, because I know they got music on downstairs and they're talking and they're playing pool. So hopefully y'all are able to hear me. Don't forget to comment, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and don't forget to let me know if you know of any career fields that's like, oh, maybe look into this. Don't let it be anything with working with kids, please. I think my days of working with kids is over. I only want to work with my kids. All right, I will talk to y'all later.